Welcome to part 2 of the Weekly Planet Iceberg. Today we are looking at the tip. These topics are a little more obscure, but I'm sure a beginner will know most of these. Without further ado, let's begin.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Post-credit scene videos. The post-credit scene videos usually have James explaining the purpose of a movie's post- or mid-credit scene. Meso is sometimes there to help. For those unaware, a post-credit scene is a scene that takes place after the credits, while a mid-credit scene is a scene that interrupts the credits, usually in the middle. Usually, these scenes are there to make a joke or set up the next movie. While these videos occasionally show up nowadays, they're not nearly as common as they once were. Easter egg videos. Back in the mid to late 2010s, James often released a video pointing out every Easter egg he can find in a geek-related movie or TV show. Meso is sometimes there. The movie videos were usually released while the film was still in theaters, so there's often little to no screenshots of the actual Easter eggs. While these videos occasionally show up nowadays, they're not nearly as common as they once were. Trailer breakdowns. Whenever a trailer for a highly anticipated film or show releases, James will release a video looking for the things that you might miss in said trailer. Meso will sometimes join. While the trailer breakdowns aren't as frequent, they still pop up at least once a year. Deleted scenes videos. Again, back in the mid to late 2010s, James had a series of videos talking about deleted scenes from a recent geek movie. Meso is sometimes there. Since the movie is in theaters at the time of the upload, James usually doesn't have any footage of said deleted scene. Sometimes there will be a video that's both an Easter egg video and a deleted scenes video at the same time. Deleted scenes are also talked about during Caravan of Garbage episodes. James's family. James Clement has a family. More specifically, he has a son and a daughter. James was married to Claire Tonti, but they divorced. Thankfully, it was on good terms. More info on that here. Box office videos. At the end of every year, James and Meso list the biggest box office hits and bombs. This tradition started in 2018. Thankfully, there's more to the videos than box office numbers. James ranks the films based off of the actual profit each movie made. This accounts for money spent on marketing, delays, and other potential costs. If James can't find an official source on the marketing budget, he has to do some math. In most cases, if a film costs less than $100 million, you double the budget to account for marketing. However, if the film costs more than $100 million, the marketing is usually about $100 million. James's numbers don't take into account films being redeemed on streaming or money made from merchandise. Ironically, the bomb videos actually do better than the hit videos. Great Mates. Great Mates is the Weekly Planet private Facebook group. I'm not a part of it, so I have no idea what goes on in there. Weekly Planet posters. Whenever James and Meso come up with a stupid alternative name for a movie, Weekly Planet Posters creates a poster to go along with it. If the poster isn't in the video accompanying the podcast episode, go to Weekly Planet Posters' Twitter account. Guess the Movie by the Savage Review. In May of 2020, a new series was started titled Guess the Movies by the Savage Review. In said series, Meso has to guess the movie, or miniseries, based on the 1-star Letterboxd review. Usually, each episode has a specific theme to tie all the reviews together. James often puts in a movie that has nothing to do with the video's theme to with Meso. That movie is usually Joker. One time, James and Meso did the opposite, being Guess the Terrible Movie by the Good Review. Best movie ever or worst movie ever? James and Meso's criticism system has 2 ratings. Best movie ever or worst movie ever? There is no in between.
We're going to use our classic rating system, why not?
Absolutely, best movie ever or worst movie ever.
Yep, no
no
middle
in
ground.
between. Why would you?
I'm sensing your worst movie ever from you.
Yeah, worst movie ever.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
best because I like it.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Look, I would best movie ever to the show.
You could do worse.
You could certainly do
to
worse.
take your kids to something
right.
like this.
You could probably do better. Maybe Sonic 3 is better.
Maybe Sonic 3 is probably more fun. There's more lasers.
Now, obviously, this is a joke. They're referencing how often people online give reviews that are either hyper-positive or hyper-negative. This was more the case in the 2010s, since nowadays the term mid is thrown around a lot. James even had a movie review show that was named after this system. What do you think the story was? In most reviews, James asks Meso what the story of the media they're reviewing is. Meso usually has a hard time explaining it.
Do you want to break down the premise? What do you think the premise was?
Oh, no. Gosh, let me think. Okay, so...
Anyways, Nosferatu, though.
Yes.
What do you think the story was?
Oh, come on, mate.
Who also am I to say what I think the story was? Because that's your job. What do you think the story was?
All right, okay.
What we reading, what we gonna read? What we reading, what we gonna read is a reoccurring segment where James and Meso give some reading recommendations. Here's the jingle.
I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today?
The recommendations aren't restricted to books, making the title in dire need of a change. The segment was born in episode 21.
Mason,
Yeah.
we were talking about adding a new segment. It's called, I put it here, What We Gonna Read, What We Reading.
You've written that on crayon.
I sure have.
On your iPad, which
I
is
know,
weird.
I know, right? It's basically where I thought we could briefly talk about during an episode something that we're reading or something that we're planning to read.
Maybe at the end of the episode.
Sure.
Is this the end of the episode?
It's close enough.
Oh, oh, you know what? Read or we could watch. We could watch
Yeah,
the
it's
show.
anything. It's anything
Yeah.
that we're into.
This is so vague, but I love it. I love how vague it is.
Ollie. Ollie is James's dog. James also has a second dog named Zippy. Both of them show up sometimes. Ollie is just the more famous one.
David Oyelowo is in this movie.
Oh my
He's
goodness,
in
he is
Spooks.
too. Yeah, he is too. Ollie, stop backing. You're ruining the podcast.
Uh-oh, dog's here.
Zippy's in here, running about.
Zippy has a cone on her head.
Zippy, are you causing trouble in here?
Hello, Zippy. Hello. Oh my God, Zippy. James' podcast is cancelled.
I agree.
Hang out with Zippy.
It's dog time, everybody.
Time.
If you came here for your Batman review, we're not doing
We're
it.
not doing it. We're not doing it. We're patting the dog. Yes, Zippy, go. Zippy, come on. Come on. Now, Zippy, remember, I'm not the one kicking you out. I want to be friends forever.
Come on. Come on.
Ollie's here too. Hello, Ollie. Hello. Wishes.
Ollie.
Oh, you got to go too.
Ollie.
How those dogs even get in here?
The door was open.
Ah,
The dog time is over, everybody.
sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
And sorry to me.
I think the insectoid kind of nature of it really works. Oh, the dog's here. Speaking of bloody monsters.
Oh, I know, Ollie.
Letters, it's time for letters. Letters, it's time for letters is another reoccurring segment of the Weekly Planet. In this segment, James and Meso read emails, not letters. If you want to send an email to potentially be read, send it to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. Here's the jingle.
The classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away. You know they're here right now, we're going to do letters.
That's all we have for today. Next time, we'll be dipping our toes in the ice-cold water with the surface level. Here's a sneak peek.
And you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything!
Anyway, thank you all for watching. Grab that gem and I'll see you next month or so.